Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Choice Bank Minnesota Golf Show. My name is Greg Snow from the Olivia Golf Club. My buddy Scott McDonald is joining us. He's pulling up on two wheels as normal. Scott McDonald, former head pro of Minnewaska Golf Club, former head pro of Summerby Golf Club, currently the director of speed with the Ripstick. And, of course, I see that he brought up his model here. So good to see everybody here at the golf show. They're filing in as we speak. And, Scotty, good to see you this morning.
Thank you. Am I too loud on this
Yeah,
thing?
you're a little too loud. That's okay.
I'm breathing a little heavy because I had to run in here.
Did you sprint?
Yes, I did.
Well, you're a world-class runner. I think everybody who knows you knows that you do a lot of extra running because you think that that's fun.
Yes, I do. I got a new treadmill. Since our last episode, I've logged on almost 50 miles, and I feel slim and trim and getting ready for the upcoming golf season.
So wait a minute. You don't do any outdoor running? Even?
No.
Really?
Well, it's so slippery, and I don't want to get hurt. The last thing I want to do is get hurt before the golf season and give you a free run at me, and all of a sudden you say, oh, remember 2022 when I just dominated you on the golf course when I was sitting at home?
It's funny you say that because I have stopped playing pickup basketball in the morning, and all I can think about is guarantee I'm going to get hurt. There is no doubt about it. I'm going to pull a hamstring. I'm going to do something, and I won't be able to play golf. I mean, we got a big trip coming up. Call it the NCO. We're heading to the Ozarks, and I want to be able to beat you down there. You want to beat me. But yet, good friends. So, Scotty, is this your first golf show?
No, I've been at the golf show before. I think I told you this. The last time I was at the golf show was probably 8-9 years ago. I actually was working in the second swing section.
Really?
Yeah, that was.
You were selling stuff.
Yeah, I did a little. I dabbled a little bit when I was in the off season, and a bunch of my friends work for Second Swing, and they've got a big presence here. So that's the last time I was here. So it's fun to see the excitement. The people. Is that Mike Luckcraft over there?
Yeah, Lucky. We want to talk to him in a little bit. So I'm going to set you free at some point, and you're going to get Lucky to get over here because we want to talk a little hockey with him.
Yes.
And it's amazing the tie between hockey and golf. But anyways, we're here at the Score North booth. They're so nice to let us set up our shop here and talk a little bit of golf early. It is the first day of the golf show, and this is when the excitement does begin, Scott. So I want to start with something that I need your help on. I was just on a trip down to San Antonio, Texas. You knew I went, right?
Mm-hmm. I was invited, yes.
So I went to the Minneapolis airport, and I put in, I stuff everything into my golf bag, right? I mean, I put clothes, I have underwear, I have stuff just laying around all over my golf stuff, and I've got it packed in tight. First time I've ever seen this. I want to know if you've heard this. I can't believe it. I didn't know what to do. So I'm getting in line. I'm ready to go up there, and the lady looks at me. They're Nazis, right? I mean, they want everything to go perfectly. So the lady looks at me, and she goes, make sure you take out your rangefinders.
Why?
Scott, I panicked. I looked up. I have everything stuffed in. I mean, the zipper looked like my shirt here. It was so tight that I pulled it up. I couldn't open that zipper again if I wanted to. I made sure it was 49.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Because it can't be over 50.
Mm-hmm,
and she says, take your rangefinder out. Have you heard of this yet?
I've never heard of this. I've had it a couple of times where they say there's only golf stuff in here, right? And it's like, what does that matter? That what I put in here, it doesn't matter.
So that happened on our way home. Interesting. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, but I've never heard the rangefinder thing. That is a new one.
Okay, so the story gets better. So I don't take it out. Okay, I'm like, yep, I lie. I'm sorry to everybody who think that I'm 100% honest. I go, we're good, because I'd never heard this before.
Yeah.
So we get down to San Antonio. First golf course we play is the Quarry. I don't know if you've heard of it. Phenomenal track down there. Haley was awesome for us. She's the head pro, and she just took care of us, and it's a great track, 71 degrees, perfect. Third hole, rangefinder goes dead. Now, it could have been the battery.
Yeah.
Battery wasn't, I don't recall replacing it last year, but my mind went to maybe it's because it's so cold up there in the luggage compartment that it kills your battery, and they're just trying to help you. What do you think of that theory?
I think that's a little far-fetched. I don't know. Could it be something that once it goes through It's got to go through some sort of radar
Right,
detection.
the scanning machine. Yep, I saw it.
But you go through the same thing when you're checking your carry-on, so I don't see maybe you know who we should talk to if we see him here is Eric Toffner, who works on, luggage during the winters for the airlines.
We could ask him.
He might know exactly why it is that it can't be in the bag.
Well, I was shocked by it, and then when my rangefinder went dead on hole 3, I laughed to myself, and I thought, well, I should have listened to those people. Maybe they were onto something, but maybe some of our listeners out there know about this. I have never heard it before. Scotty, I've traveled with golf clubs probably 30 times?
Yes.
I've never heard that before, so I was just wondering if you had got any insight on that. But I had a great time. Thanks for asking. I had a great time down in San Antonio, and I really got some swings in. I didn't break 80.
You didn't break 80
Does
the
that
whole
shock
trip?
you?
Not really, because I know that you haven't hit a ball since the last time you played Olivia in November.
No rangefinders for me, nothing. Okay, so before we get too far, Scotty, go ahead. Put your plug in for your ripstick. I'm going to just sit back and listen. You are the director of speed. I see you have it next to you. I feel we owe this to you, that this is your chance to say something. And you know what? The crowd is coming in now. This is your chance. They can hear us. So tell us a little bit about this white shafted ripstick that you got next to you.
Well, before I go there, I got to ask a question. Are you channeling your inner Bobby Knight here with this red sweater vest?
I want to show everybody this outfit. I haven't wore this outfit in a long time. Okay. I hate sweater vests. I look like a private country club guy. I don't work at a private country club. Look at Kaylee's laughing over there. I know you guys want to talk about it, but this was the shirt that we got for being on the board like 8 years ago.
The undershirt, yes.
So
where is that sweater vest?
No, but look
from?
at how short the shirt is on my arms. I mean, it's been washed to death. And then this sweater vest is, I think we got this for the golf show when I worked at Rutgers. So this is like a 14-year-old sweater vest, and I do look like Bobby Knight.
You do.
So thanks for bringing that up. It's a little snug, too.
We've got plenty of chairs on the stage here for you to throw if you get upset. I've never seen you wear a sweater vest or a button-up shirt unless it's required, so I'm very confused as to your attire. Usually I'm the one that dresses up.
This is my Bob Miller. I want to get into Bob Miller take, and plus I wanted to feel golfy. I wanted to get back into this. I mean, I think everybody's in that boat, Scott. It's kind of, let's turn the calendar. Let's get going. And how am I going to do it? I'm going to dress like a golfer today. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're more a modern golfer, but I'm bringing it back, and we're going to talk a little bit about this later, about the People's Open and maybe how you look versus how I look. I mean, if I was at the WM Phoenix Open, I wouldn't fit in right now.
No,
correct?
you look like Jack Nicklaus, like at 65 years old when he first started on the first tee at Augusta. Seriously.
Okay.
If it can
It's picture worthy. For sure.
Can I ask just a serious question?
Keep going. No, these aren't serious, but I love it.
Yeah, but did you have to iron the sweater vest?
I took a risk, and I didn't. So
it actually looks quite good.
Thank goodness. Well, I've stretched it out over the course of the 2-hour drive, and I thought that would take out some of the wrinkles. But it's funny you say that, Scott, because when I took it off of the shelf this morning, I thought to myself, I hope this doesn't look wrinkly. But I didn't look. I just laughed.
It looks impeccable.
I will tell you this, the shirt underneath, that need to be ironed.
Oh, yeah. and I'm here to tell you, the shorter sleeves are kind of in right now. I know you're not up with the fashion, but the shorter sleeves, you don't want this thing down here like this.
Do you think our customers out here could find one of these sweater vests down at one of those stores down here today? Or are these dead?
The mock Tiger made the mock comeback, which I know you kept your mock.
I love mock tees. Yep.
So the sweater vest might be getting a resurgence. So there's a chance at one of these booths. I'm not sure how much apparel Second Swing's got here, but there's a chance there's a sweater vest over there.
Well, I hope so. And like I said, I'm bringing out my inner Bob Miller. And now that we got that out of the way, I know Kaylee and Tone were also thinking the same thing, like, what is Snow wearing? So I'm glad that you observed. But tell us a little bit about Ripstick. We want to hear it. Come on, this is your chance. You got 3 minutes.
Yeah, so we thought about having a booth this year, and there's just too much going on. We were down at the merchandise show, and it kind of got past us. But actually, I think There's a booth over by the area where you can hit Ultimate Long Drive, and we're kind of partnering with them this year during the show, and Western Wisconsin Golf. And here's the Ripstick. It's a speed trainer. If you want to pick up some speed, this is the fastest growing speed trainer on the market right now. We've got interchangeable weights in the head. You swing this 3 times a week, 10 minutes a day, and you're going to pick up speed. And yeah, we've got this in a lot of golf shops now. Starting to talk about retail. It's available in 4 different continents, and this is probably everybody needs one of these in their bags. And in fact, you've got one.
Yeah, I do. I'm a co-sponsor, so to speak.
You know, we're talking to the likes of Bryson DeChambeau, Ian Poulter, and, you know, you're next on our list if we can't land one of those 2.
What's their swing speed again?
Poulter's probably about 110, 112.
What's Bryson? 130?
Bryson, well, it depends on if he's on the long drive.
Driver.
Driver, I'd say, it's upper 120s.
Where would you guess I am?
I know right where you're at. You're a smooth 102.9. You remember WLTE?
No.
102.9.
I don't remember.
That's your swing speed.
What are you at? Are you more than me?
Yeah, I'm 10 years younger than you almost.
That's so true.
I'm probably, in the middle of the season 106, 107. I'd like to get it to 110, but I don't know if that's in the cards for me.
All right, Scott, let's move on to topic number 1, which we said in our preview episode, we said we were going to talk about this, which is, I call it the People's Open. I've had a chance to go twice, once post-heart attack, actually one day after heart attack surgery. Think about that, huh?
Not many people can say that, can they?
Not where you probably want to go right after and we're walking the whole thing, but I thought I got to do cardio rehab anyways.
Yes.
So let's start walking, let's start going. So I went that time, and then a year later we went back and we sat on hole number 16. So I got a series of questions that I want to ask you if I could.
Yes.
Okay. So the WM, Waste Management, I don't know their branding, whatever, it's called the Phoenix Open. When the first hole-in-one happened and the beer cans were thrown onto the green, give me your reaction.
Yeah,
No, you didn't hesitate when you reacted. I want to know, what did your gut tell you when all that was going on?
I thought about it and I go, this is something that you'll never ever see in golf anywhere else.
So shock?
A little shock, but a little excitement, because you and I both know that golf is sweater vests and button-ups, and that's not what
this used to be golf.
Yes, exactly.
And now this is more golf. Right,
yes.
right.
So
2 different eras here.
So from that perspective, I'm like, this is awesome. This is what sports is all about. The instant reaction and people just going berserk because something miraculous happened. I mean, now that was the first one.
That was your first reaction, huh?
After the first hole-in-one.
Okay.
So then,
did you have any? Hold on, before you get to the second hole-in-one, did you have any extra thoughts after of I'm not sure this is good for golf, or maybe it is good for golf, or where do I land on that? Because I did. I want to get your thoughts. What were your overall afterwards?
After it happened, the first one, because it was so unlike anything we've ever seen, probably since Tiger got it back in '97.
Right, and there was no grandstands.
Yes, there was no grandstands, and it was Tiger. And it's probably one of the most relived Tiger moments in golf, correct?
It's up there.
Yeah, I mean the chip in.
No, the putt-at-Torrey.
Putt-at-Torrey,
yeah.
The chip in at
at Augusta.
Yes, but it's in the top 5 because the reaction is just unlike any other. So after the initial, hey, this is unlike anything I've seen, I was like, how are they going to clean all that up? And maybe they shouldn't have done that. What's going to happen? All that beer on the green and for other people. So I kind of backed it up a little bit and said, maybe it was a little over the top.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden it gets crazy, and the next day it happens again.
Yep.
And then Justin Thomas chips in, and it happens again. And
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Justin Thomas
They
chipped
threw
in.
beer after a chip-in?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So that's where
I didn't see that.
after the fact, it got crazy. Like even a chip-in, they were going nuts. And that to me is where I was like, okay, a hole-in-one, the first time there's a hole-in-one in 7-8 years, that's one thing.
Sure.
But all of a sudden there's another hole-in-one a day later, and it's like it gave everybody an excuse to be crazy. And then a chip-in happens, and everybody is crazy again. And that's where it's a little over the line.
Yeah, I did not know that. That changes me right now. I got brand new information, and I'm a guy that if I get brand new information, I'm going to change my take a little bit.
Yes.
So after the first one, I was like, oh my goodness, that's pure joy. I've been there. Where we were just waiting for things to happen, and we'd record things, on the Snapchats, trying to catch one of those hole-in-ones. You're just trying to catch lightning in a bottle and say, I was there during this, that, or the other thing. And of course, it didn't happen when we were there, so nobody did it. But these are $11 beers, Scott.
Oh yeah.
These aren't $3.50 at the OGC.
No.
Again, these are. Again, people have money that they can just throw around apparently, and they're just chucking $11 beers out onto the green. Fine, that's whatever. They can do that. But I was fine with the first one. I was fine with the second one. I am not fine with the chip-in.
Yeah.
There obviously has to be a line somewhere, but the long and the short of it is that's the one tournament of the year where you're allowed to have a little bit more fun. I always tell people it's a nightclub with golf.
Yes.
It's kind of like Top Golf to a degree. It's kind of that parallel, if you will. So here's my second question to you. We know a lot of PGA pros go to this event, a lot, and we're allowed to get into the event with one guest. How many PGA pros threw beer cans?
It depends how long they were there.
Do you think that
and if they had to pay for the beers?
Do you think Mike Luckcraft would have thrown a beer if he was there?
50-50.
I was going to say no chance.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think the hardcore golf fans that would be at the Masters or that have been at another tour event are probably not going to be tossing a beer. And they're probably the same people that are like, this is $11. Why would I just chuck this onto the green?
There's got to be some.
Well, there'd certainly be some that would get caught up in the moment. I mean, we've all done crazy things at sporting events. I've ran onto the court at Williams Arena.
That's
I've ran onto the field at
TCF Bank, right?
Well, it's Huntington Bank
but
now.
But it was TCF at the time.
Yes, and I've done those things, and in my adult life, not just when I was a high school, college kid. So I've done those things. So who knows how I would have reacted, because it is pretty awesome to see that.
Well, I can attest to everybody here and those who will listen later that you're not a heavy drinker. So you would have not been to the point where you didn't know what you were doing.
Correct.
You would have absolutely thought to yourself I've got 3/4 of a beer here. I'm not going to shake it up and lose it. I'm going to jump around a little bit, and if some spills out of the top, so be it. Because I think they take the top there as well. Like at the Twin Stadium, they don't want you chucking it on it, so we're going to take the top off. Well, we found out that doesn't matter anymore.
No.
They're going to chuck them whether the top is off or not, and they were landing some by the hole.
Yes.
Scotty, I mean, that's what was amazing. I think Brooks Koepka ended up missing like a 4-footer later that day, and you can't help but think of, was there possibly a little indentation?
You couldn't call that a ball mark, could you? And we'd have to ask
You can
Tone,
fix anything now.
Can you fix a bottle mark from an indent? Tone's
right,
giving us
Tone,
the
you
okay?
can fix anything.
So here's what I would say. I got a question follow-up for you.
Oh, fire it. I love
What
this.
other sporting event could you do that and not get kicked out?
I was thinking a monster truck rally.
You can chuck beers at a monster truck rally?
I don't know that, but I would think that that's what it'd be equivalent to. I've never heard of NASCAR doing it. Of course, you'd be done, right?
Yes.
Because I thought about that. What if NASCAR could? Obviously, you're never going to see it at a basketball game. Football, they had issues with the snowballs even way back when in Giant Stadium, or it was the Jets, one of those Meadowlands or wherever they play. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you're going, if that's a good or a bad thing, but I don't know if anybody else could say that they would allow that.
Yeah, it's just and that was the issue where
it's not happening in tennis.
No, it's not going to happen in any of the major sports. It's just it's a one-way ticket to get out of there. And there's probably a good chance that there's going to be some sort of a ban. It could be
Right.
a year or you might not ever be invited back. If you did that at Augusta, what would happen?
Oh, that's not even. If you have your cell phone at Augusta, you're not allowed to come back. I think we know some people who are on the don't come back list for the cell phone.
I remember
right?
hearing that.
I
yes.
think we do, and so that's a thing. But again, I don't know. I'm guessing that at the end of it, they were like, okay, this was fun one time, but maybe we're going to have to come up with some rules. Or maybe they aren't, Scott. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if they implement some rules next year. And here's the thing. You've had 2 hole-in-ones now in one tournament in the same year. You hadn't had a hole-in-one in 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they might put all these procedures in place, and it might be another 6-7 years before.
But Justin Thomas chipping in and they're chucking. Now they're going to throw it for a guy hitting it to an inch.
Yes.
Or now they're going to throw it. So at the original, back to the original question, when it happened, I was like, oh, this is awesome for golf. I just love this because this brings in the people that aren't sweater vests.
Yes,
right?
yes,
They
exactly.
aren't bringing in, this is bringing in people that are wearing pink undershirts. And they want to look cool and they want to feel cool when they're playing and they want to have their music on the golf cart.
Yes.
And we're kind of okay with that. You're not in the green grass anymore, but maybe, hey, is that what drove you out of the green grass? Did you not like these changes that were coming?
No, I love these changes.
That's
I
true.
think
You
that,
do.
I think that golf needs to be more. Let's be honest. There's more jeans than there are slacks at this event. That just shows you, hey, let's let people be comfortable. Let them play in what they want. I mean, obviously, we don't need the shirtless people out there. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, please do. Is that too far?
I think that's
Was it
way
Harry
too.
Higgs and Joel Damon?
Yes, it was.
So, personalities.
Yes, both. It was a perfect storm of a twosome of 2 guys that are willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
They really don't care, right? So all of a sudden, Higgs makes like a 10 or a 12 footer, and he lifts up his shirt.
He does the flash.
He does the flash, but it's a long flash, and there's a lot underneath there.
No, he was
Harry's a big guy.
But he was baited into that on Twitter and other beforehand.
Really?
Oh, yeah, because everybody picked that he was the guy that would do it.
Okay.
This is our guy,
Yes,
right? That
yep.
he's going to do it. So he was kind of baited into it. And then when he made that putt, it was like, well, this is the time.
And
so then
Joel's standing probably 20, 30 feet away, and all of a sudden he takes the full thing off and does the spin around, and he's just kind of like, hey, here I am. People's open.
Did he have to hit a shot after he took his shirt off? I didn't see.
I think he was in the hole.
He was already done.
Yeah, he just I think it would have been a perfect finish if they did a chest bump, a bare-chested chest bump.
I can't help but laugh thinking about this because what happens if on the tee shot, somebody ripped off their shirt like a John Daly 15 years ago, it rips off
And
his
just
shirt.
runs down.
Hits a 9-iron onto the green or something. How perfect would that have been?
Do they still have the caddy races on that hole, or did they get rid of the caddy races?
I didn't see one.
Yes, I think they got rid of them because I think somebody got hurt.
Oh.
So-
Pulled hamstring or tripped and fell on one of the cacti?
Somebody got hurt, pulled did something.
Okay, because there's the jumping choya too.
Oh, yeah.
That'll get you,
Yes.
So you got to stay on those paths out there. You played desert golf, Scotty?
I've played a little bit. I haven't played
You were
much
at
in
Vegas
Phoenix.
this year.
Yes.
It's kind of a similar deal
Yes,
down there
yes.
with just stay away from the jumping. Although the course we played at Paiute was rock
Yes.
on the outside, not so much jumping choya in desert. But okay, I have one more question if I can.
Yes.
How many of those type events does the tour need?
Well, I think we need more than there is out there because that's the only one like it.
Interesting.
And I think I saw on the booths that the TPC or the Twin Cities, the event up here at the TPC, the 3M is here, and I think the 3M would be great to embrace that persona because I think Minnesota golf fans are kind of outside the box. There's a ton of excitement, and it's a very good setup because that's also a TPC course they play in Phoenix, in Scottsdale, and it's a great 17's a great par 3, 18's a good finishing. Make it, and they're trying to do that, but it's going to take time.
Yeah.
I mean, what has happened at the Waste Management has really just jumped the last 5 years. You know, the
17
excitement
is almost entirely enclosed now.
Yeah. I mean, 17 and 18, right?
18 is almost entirely enclosed. I mean, you can only do so much with the water on the left. But
Yes.
yeah, that right side is a big hill, and on top of it is all grandstand for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah, it's become that, Scott, that 16, 17, 18. Throw some lights up there and have it go into the night.
Yes.
Although they always have it on Super Bowl Sunday, so maybe that isn't a great idea. But we can talk a little bit about that, too, if that hurt or helped golf. But, yeah, I think if the 3M, I kind of like where you're heading here with this.
Well, we need more like that, and clearly look at what's happened at the Waste Management is now you're getting 15 of the top 20 players. It used to be kind of a middle-of-the-road stop.
Yes,
You'd get
yes.
maybe Phil would play because he went to school down there. You get Rom right out of college. You'd get some big name players, but now almost all of them are going. And where it didn't used to. So clearly the players love the environment. They love the excitement. I mean, who wouldn't love hitting shots in front of 3,000 or 300,000 people?
Yeah.
So I think we need to have, especially these ones that aren't the Memorial or aren't the WGC or aren't the Bay Hill Invitational, the ones that are big stops. Let's get more excitement. Let's bring more people to the game. It's a great gateway to get people to get involved in golf.
So you think the tour could handle one more of those probably?
I'd be fine with the tour having, let's say,
One in the summer, one in the fall?
I'd say 3 or 4 a year.
So I said this on another radio show that I'm on. I go, I think that this is a lot like a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
And probably know where I'm going with this is 1 Snickers is awesome, so good. 6 Snickers, not so good. Right? By about the 4th or the 5th Snicker bar, you're like, I can't have any more chocolatey caramel nut goodie in my stomach right now.
Who eats 6 of anything?
You're missing the point. Stay on the parable here, okay? If you have 6 of those type of events, does it become watered down and no good?
Yeah, I think you're right. You don't want to have it every other week.
I'm with. I think the tour can handle 1 more. I'm not sure about 2 more because I think the fall is kind of what it is. But I do think I love your idea that if the 3M could say, how about we build some of this excitement? Why don't we put up some big scaffolding around 17? You're right. That's a great par 3, and it's built perfectly, just like Scottsdale. You know, there's got these high sides that you can just build up, and you could have a lot of fun with that, I would think. And then 18, I mean, they could build that back all the way to the trees. And you know where I'm talking about. You could have a lot of grandstands there. And, you know, Minnesota is known for its Fortune 500 companies. You're going to sell them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the thing is they've sold all these ones. I'm sure next year sold for the Waste Management down there. So I do believe that we could get. Hey, Kaylee, could you do us a favor? Could you see if Lucky could come over? Scotty wants to talk to him a little bit. That's one of our guys.
He's in deep thought.
Yeah,
there.
but just see if in the next 5-10 minutes we got one more topic, but we'll get him in a second. So. Kaylee, she does so much work for us on this, and she sets all this stuff up. She was the one who talked to the Score North people to get this all going, and her and Tone just do a lot of work for this. Tone's trying to wear his mask, but look at him. He's So, Scott, I got one more question while they try to get Lucky.
Yes.
Hot topic of the of pretty much every channel right now. Gut reaction on Saudi tour. I don't know what to call it other than the Saudi pre-champions tour, maybe. I just want to get some quick thoughts, and maybe we can ask Lucky about it, or some of his thoughts on the Waste Management too. But I want to get your reaction to this as we kind of embark on what's an unprecedented look for both the tour and for some of these guys that have to make a decision.
Yeah, Cal, I don't even know what you compare it to, but Michael. So, anyways, we'll get Luckcraft over here. It feels like it's guys that are in it just for the cash.
Yeah,
that are making
100%.
the jump. I mean, and it makes me just I lose a little respect for anybody that jumps over there, because you want to go where the money is, but then can you tell me that these guys are the same guys that are going to say, oh yeah, I'm still going to play in the U.S. Open. I'm going to still play in the Masters, the PGA, whatever, because they're majors, right? And that's part of your legacy. So you want to go where the easy money is, but yet you still want to have the benefits of staying on the tour. So I'm not a fan of it. I don't, and I think it's a long way from actually being a success. Look at all the offshoots from different leagues and what's happened in the past. Have any of them ever taken off?
No, they really haven't. But I do think there's room for the European Tour. There's room for the Asian Tour. There's room for some of these, that they can, they can grow and they can become something. But this is different. We know this is different. All right, we're getting Mike Luckcraft, a.k.a. Lucky, coming to join us here at the Score
Do you
North
know
booth.
where he's at, right, and where he works?
Scott, we're going to let him tell us a little bit about this, because part of you coming up here, Lucky, hey, by the way, thanks for coming up.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We had a chance to say hi this morning.
How
part
are
of
you?
Mike coming up is we want to get a plug for his golf courses and what's going on. I know in the past you've been in a bunch of different places, Lucky, but tell us what you're doing right. No, but they've all been great. I think you were at what's the Legends recently? Are you still hanging out there too?
I'm not. A little transition last
Tell us about
summer.
it.
Yeah, great opportunity came up to take over the golf director position at the Meadows at Mystic Lake. So exciting opportunity. There's a lot going on. It's a super, super unique property with all the different entities that are part of Mystic Lake. I was not aware that there was so many operations all happening at one time. It's not just the casino, but the hotel, and there's other unbelievable things happening there. So great opportunity, and was thrilled to be part of it.
I love the Meadows. I've only played it once, and I thought it was an awesome track. How many times have you been? I know you don't play a ton of golf because you're a coach as well. We're going to talk about this, but how much do you get out and get a chance to enjoy it?
Like all of us, it's a little restricted in the summer just because the golf course is busy with events and daily play, and golf the last couple of years has gone skyrocket. So that's been really fun. But the unique part about Meadows is there's a lot of pride taken in course conditions. We've never really been a golf course that's tried to really ramrod through high volume of players. It's more about the experience and course conditions and the quality of the property, and that's what they've really focused on is trying to feature that part of it versus just high volume of play. We have some corporate golf outings, but not a ton. And we do some really high-level tournaments. We do an event for the Vikings last year. We were fortunate to do an event for the Legends Tour, which is effectively the Champions Tour for the LPGA. That was phenomenal. I'm not sure what I expected going into that, but the level of play was incredible, and the ladies were amazing. So it was really, really a fun
Annika?
year. She did not play last year, but rumor has it that she's coming this year.
Oh, yeah.
So
she's getting back into it. We can get into that. But.
So Julie Inkster won the event last year, but Rosie Jones was, finished, highly up there. Nancy Lopez came and played in the event. Laura Diaz was there. I mean, it was a really, really great. Kind of a funny story. I was at the scoring table after the first day, or after the second day, and Hollis Stacy, had shot 72-72. I think she is literally a 70-year-old gal, and I had said to her, "That's incredible golf," and she kind of turned to me and said, "I won the U.S. Open 3 times." And I kind of said, "Yeah, okay, I'll stop talking now."
Insert foot into mouth. So is that event going to be kind of a mainstay now at the Meadows?
Yep. So it's scheduled again this summer for the 10th through the 13th of August. So the actual tournament play is a Friday, Saturday. It's a 2-day stroke play event, and they'll have an incredible field. It's 44 gals that participate in the event. So they come in on Wednesday, and they'll play some practice rounds, and they do a great clinic, a youth clinic that's kind of aligned with the first tee. Part of that clinic is with the community members from Mystic Lake, and then part of it is open to youth. It really focuses on women's golf, which is great, and gets a lot of new players out there, and the first tee helps us instruct that. And then there's a Pro-Am on Thursday, which is really a fun element of the tournament, and then the actual stroke play tournament is Friday and Saturday. So really, really excited about having that again this year, and should be a lot of fun.
What local Minnesotans or ladies with Minnesota ties participated in the event this year?
Yeah, Karen Weiss played last year, and of course Michelle Redmond is the tournament host.
Yep.
So Michelle and Jim Lehman are kind of the coordinators of the event. And then we did have some. We had Brenda Williams last year that played,
Okay,
so they
yes.
invited some local. Claudia Pilot played, and so they did. They had some great local representation.
Yes.
I think it'll be fun for those individuals to play again this year because there's some intimidation factor when you've played, probably nationally at a really high amateur level, and all of a sudden you're coming in and. Like it would be for us,
Yes.
playing in one of those events,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, wow, there's some exceptional play. So
Yes.
it was phenomenal.
No, it's exciting to see that side of it's taking off. The Champions Tour on the men's side has really grown, and Bernard Longer's been out there now 15 years, and it's been a mainstay. But on that side, I know that they've had it. Lisa Grimes, who's up from my neck of the woods, has played in senior ladies PGAs and done quite well in those. And there's a lot of women that have ties to Minnesota. Brenda was obviously a member at Windsong when I was there. Great player, Lee Klaas. You've got all these women that have been at the national or professional level for such a long time. So it's fun to see them compete against Nancy Lopez, people that were out there making a living. So that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. I don't think any of us kind of knew. Julie Inkster shot 9 under for 2 days, so it was exceptional golf.
What kind of yardage were they putting them at?
Yeah, just over 6,000 yards.
Wow.
So yeah, it was not a short golf course, and there was challenging pin locations. They have representatives from the LPGA Tour that come in and set the golf course, set the tees, to try to create a high level tournament environment. And the play was great. I want to say of the 44 gals, it was a dozen or so under par, and it was Julie was 9, and Rosie Jones was 8. So it was Chris Cheddar I think was 6. So Michelle Redmond was 4 or 5 under. So it was highly competitive and came kind of right down to the end there for the win.
So, Lucky, what are those dates again this year?
It's the 10th through the 13th of August.
All right. Oh, jam-packed August. Scotty, I'm wondering if somehow we could be involved with this. Wouldn't that be fun to interview some of those gals?
We should go. Do they charge for admission? Is it free admission? What are the details for tickets?
Are you worried about your pocketbook, or are you trying to help other people?
I'm just trying to help everybody else out here.
You make so much money, I don't even know why you'd question that, but okay.
It's $25 a day to enter. There is a 2-day package where you can get in for a little discounted rate for 2 days to watch both play. I think what I noticed last year, which was really fun, is players, the spectators came out on Friday, maybe like we were, not exactly knowing,
right,
what to expect, and then all of a sudden we saw a bunch of these people that came back on Saturday thinking, well, how good was this, right? And then they want to come back and see how it all transpires the second day and to watch those high-level players. The other fun thing was the range activity. So you see these players on the range with their caddies, and they're there, with their caddy bibs, so you can really identify all the players, and you're just watching this incredible ball flight and shot after shot after shot of just how exceptional the talent was. So it was really fun.
All right, Lucky, a lot of people don't realize that us PGA pros, we're pretty versatile. We do a lot of different things. We wear a lot of different hats, and you're one of those guys. I've always said we have a good friend named Bundy, Sean Chambers, who played for a lot of teams, let's just say, but we make a lot of fun of him, and he's a good guy. But I've always thought that hockey players make good golfers. You are a hockey coach.
Yeah.
Tell us how that all started and how long you've been into it, and give us your little background on hockey and how that correlates nicely into golf. I really think, especially in Minnesota.
Yeah, it does. A long time ago when I was kind of growing up in high school, I think all of us played a lot of different sports, and golf and hockey was a combination that I always looked forward to. I played golf in the summer and played high school golf and played hockey in the winter, and had a great experience with high school hockey. My high school hockey coach was just a super positive influence on me as a young person. We had some good teams, so that built some confidence as far as my want to play hockey, and played a little bit after high school, and just always had a passion for kind of coaching. So for years I was an assistant coach back in my alma mater, which was Burnsville, and then a little bit at Mounds View High School, and never really thought with my role in golf that I could ever take over kind of the head coaching responsibilities. It just, there was too much kind of going on, even with a little downtime in the winter. And then an opportunity came up. I was working in Northfield to take over the head coaching job in 2014. And just that location and, maybe the intensity of it wasn't quite as high as it was where I was at in Burnsville. So, took that opportunity, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, just the passion for hockey in Northfield and how hard these kids play and, what they want to do. And the level of play has been fantastic. So we've had a really, really fun season. We have one more game left in our regular season. The section playoffs will start for us next Thursday. We have one more game tomorrow. And, on a kind of fun note, our girls team won the section yesterday, kind of upset Lakeville South in the section final. So
Nice.
Our girls team will be headed to the XL Energy Center next week. For
Extra energy for Northfield hockey.
It's awesome. And we're a tight community. All those things tie together. Our youth programs are really good. And, the boys team supports the girls supports the boys. So it's really fun. When that energy, like you said, kind of grows in the program, it really, pulsates through the program. So it's fun.
So how is the squad this year? What's the prognosis heading into the section playoffs?
Yeah, we have a chance. Put it that way. I think the team is good. We've had a good regular season. We actually won the Big Nine Conference, which is a good thing. We've been playing high school hockey in Northfield for just shy of 50 years, and I think we've won the conference over that time about 4 times. So
Ooh.
It's not an every year thing. We've been on both sides of that. So had some success with that this year, and we'll have a chance going into the playoffs. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into that, and I think if we play the right way, like I said, we'll have a chance when it comes down to it. And every high school hockey player's dream is that tournament.
Yes.
It's so nationally recognized as just the greatest high school sporting event, and what a thing for these young people to be able to go play in front of 15 or 16,000 people, represent your school, play where the Wild play. It's a cool thing. So we've been once in 50 years of hockey.
And you were the coach.
Yeah.
And what you guys did you finish? What
We finished 4th. So we won the first round game, which was great because then you get to stay at the X and play all 3 games at the
Yes.
X. And then, it's funny how we've talked about this a bunch of times, but we gave up a goal with 2.4 seconds left in the semifinal, which we've almost kind of forgotten. Because we. Which it hurt. It hurt. Our goalie had played so well.
Scott, weren't you there?
Yeah.
I remember watching it, and we go every year to AA.
Okay.
Because you guys are single A, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we'll go to some of the single A, but the first round games and it's a full day. If you go on Friday, because there's a morning wave and an afternoon wave for the semis.
Less about you now.
No.
Were you at that game?
No, I remember watching it, though,
Okay.
and I remember texting Lucky just like, gutted.
Yeah.
I
think I remember looking up and
2.4.
I just kind of took a deep breath, like, oh my God, there's 2 seconds left in the game. So yeah, just one of those things that happen.
And overtime in high school is just normal?
Yeah,
It's
overtime,
5
right.
on 5, and you just go until...
Yep, sudden death, overtime, and so those things can get long sometimes. I mean, there's been some epic, 7 or 8 overtime periods, but
But with the puck in your end, you were thinking, well, take overtime right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I always think that when the Wild are about to get a point,
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll just take overtime right now.
Just give us the point.
Yeah, we'll take that point. But in playoff hockey, there are no points.
Yeah. No, fun experience, great kids. It's been a really fun year. We have some depth, which we haven't maybe had quite as much in the past, which just gives us a chance to play a few more players. And it's been a good experience for these guys. So hopefully we can, maybe realize that dream that these kids all have. And it's a new group. So the group that went in 2017, none of those players have returned this year. And so it'll be good.
Who won the battle for Rice County this year?
The Raiders of Northfield are the Rice County champions this year. We've played the Falcons twice.
Okay.
However,
You knew where he was going with that.
However, they've got a nice squad. They play hard. They've got some talented players. So we may see them in a section playoff game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're pretty solid this year?
Yeah, they're steady.
Okay.
They've had a real up and down. This has been, like everything in the world, this has been a weird year. You look at scores, and you can't figure out whether, teams may have been affected by COVID or how that.
Right.
That certainly affected us. We had players out for certain games. We had a couple games that got canceled that you try to find a way to fit in to reschedule, and that hasn't been easy. And so you see these kind of oddities in the schedule where all of a sudden a team will lose 5 or 6 games in a row, and you wonder, did they lose their goalie? Did they lose their top forward? Or how did that all shake out? Faribault had a year like that where they just had, they started off hot, then they lost a handful of games in a row, and then now they've won a bunch of games in a row. So they've got a nice team.
Yeah.
All right, Lucky, let's finish. I know you got to get back to your booth, and
Look at
whoever's
how
covering
busy
for
it
you,
is over
I know.
there.
Oh, yeah.
This has got to
The
be
Meadows
killing.
is the place to be.
Yeah,
this is it.
clearly.
If you want to have a great golf experience and stay and come up and
Scott loves
win
to
some
gamble.
money, yeah, this is the spot.
He loves
This
to
is it.
gamble.
I love the golf course, too.
We're going to have a Pro-Am this summer, Scotty.
Hey,
Are we?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Because,
Yeah.
Lucky, you ran the greatest Pro-Am at Willinger's.
Yeah.
And remember that one, Scotty?
he ran a great one at Northfield prior to that as well.
Yeah.
You know, that old Pro.
That's
which
right.
Was awesome.
With the 2 pros, 3 Ms?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you have some good history of this, so I'm glad to hear that,
Yeah.
that you do a great job with those for our section and for your course.
For years, I used to have a group of amateur guys that would arm wrestle for that tournament down at Dakota Ridge. That
Oh, yeah.
Sunday, Monday
Yeah.
deal. I would have guys in the minute, whether we finished in the money or finished dead last, it'd be like, sign me up for next year
Yep.
because I'm coming back. And so that was always just such a fun, and all the pros and, we'd get together at the casino that night and just go down. And it was just, I loved it.
Yeah.
So we were talking, let's do something like that at the Meadows. And even though we're a little more centrally located in the metro, I think a lot of players would still gravitate to the staying and doing. Yeah, you and me both, right?
Us outside guys, because I'm with you, Lucky. The Grandview Pro-Am, Madden's, I'm fending them off.
Yeah.
Because they want to go up there and play in that, and they're willing to pay to play competitive
Yep.
golf and those things. So I think you're going to get a great turnout. Do you have a date yet?
It's June 6th. It's Monday, June 6th. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Scotty, we're already going to be in the cities.
Yeah, come on.
Are we?
Yes, we have the day before. We have Onika.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
yeah.
could? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Are you not in golf mode yet?
I've got a lot going on.
Look at him writing that down. He's like, we got to get this in there. Okay, Lucky, I know you got to get over, so I got one quick question. We talked a lot about the People's Open before you came here. What's you're not really a sweater vest guy, I don't think. You kind of get the modern game. I wore this because I knew Scotty would make fun of me today.
Doesn't he look like Bob Knight?
I just saw a good Bob Knight video. Hopefully that doesn't happen on the.
He did say there's plenty of chairs here that I could throw if I needed to. Where do you put the Waste Management People's Open in your hierarchy of golf? Is it good for golf? Do you enjoy that kind of spectator event? Do you think they should have more? Give us kind of your thoughts as to when you're watching that thing.
Well, I certainly am one of those that watches it. So when it comes on, I find time. Not only is it typically a pretty good field, but it's fun, And I know this year, whether people thought it was carried away or not, I mean, there was certainly some episodes of.
You're allowed to give your opinion on that.
Yeah, the beer being chucked on the green and everybody kind of going nuts. So there's fun to a point, I think, with guys ripping their shirts off and doing all that stuff. So they're having fun with it. What'll be really interesting is that next year, that's where the Super Bowl is.
Oh,
yes, yes.
The Super Bowl is in Phoenix during the Phoenix Open. You talk about chaos. I mean, they're setting themselves up. Now, what's unique is, and I've played that golf course a couple of times, that it's a fun golf course. There's birdies to be made, so those guys shoot great scores. They're talented players, but they've done such a great job of creating a spectator environment.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was down there this weekend that said they got to the golf course at 4:30 on Saturday morning to get to the bleachers, to sit there.
I've been part of that rush.
4:30.
Well, we were there at 5:30, and we were packed in like sardines, Lucky, and we're holding our tickets, right?
Yep.
There's no ticket taking.
Yeah.
You
Go.
you don't need a ticket.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You get pulled in. It's just like a big tractor beam suction cup. It's the most unbelievable. COVID doesn't exist down there.
It's unbelievable.
And you haven't been yet.
I have not been to the
But
tournament.
you've been to play.
Yep.
So were the grandstands up when you played?
They were. We played kind of middle of March, and I didn't know that, and then it kind of as we came around off of 15 green, you still walked through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And about 3/4 of the grandstands were still up. At this point when I played, that 17 didn't have the grandstands. And, I remember asking somebody in the shop afterwards, and they said it was about a month process to set up and take that whole thing down. It's like a small city. So I do like the golf tournament. I think there's there's enough of the tournaments that are not like that.
Right.
That certainly has that fun element. I mean, let's face it, we're trying to get people into our game, right? We want to make it fun. We want to see the fun and excitement. It probably got a little over the top this year, but overall, I like the fun of having events like that. That's and it has an unbelievable reputation for support. So
yeah, well, Lucky, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
Absolutely.
it, and love chatting with you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck in the section playoffs. I don't know who I'll be cheering for if you go against my alma mater, but if you get past Faribault, I'm cheering for you. Section 1.
Let's go. I
right.
appreciate it.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
buddy.
You bet.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. All right.
Have-
Hey, Scotty, we got time for one more guest. I want to get Darren Fisher up here, my buddy. Yep, come on up, Darren. Yep, come on. Good to see you. Darren Fisher, as you know,
Yes.
he's the head pro at Honey Creek Resort.
I've been there
You've
once.
been there. Yep. Come on up, Darren. Get around here. Don't worry. Lucky didn't sweat into these. Come on. I want a high five from you. Get this on. Get in here. This is one of the better players in the Iowa section here. Darren Fisher, good to have you on.
Well, thanks.
Tell all of our people here what you do and where you're at and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the director of golf down at Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa. We get open, significantly earlier than everyone else. We've
Yes,
actually
you
had some rounds already this year.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 60 a couple days ago.
Let me just preface this for everybody's listening here. This isn't just some podunk mom and pa golf club either.
No.
This is a club that has great holes, great design, phenomenal layout. I mean, I've been there 15 times, Darren?
Several year host of the NCO.
Of the NCO. We were just talking about that. And by the way, I'm going to be bringing a group down the week before the NCO, I think, so I got to get in touch with you. But I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead, Scotty. Sorry.
No, I notice how Darren hasn't assessed you anything like a lifetime membership, because you're
No.
always like, hey, I got these guys coming down, these guys coming down.
Listen, Darren's cut us such good deals that I owe him. It's not vice versa. Darren has worked so hard for us.
Are you the only member of the NCO that has played in my Pro-Am?
Yes, I came down and played in his Pro-Am one year. Yeah,
I think that earns some merit.
I would think so. That was we had threesomes. So I played with two other guys. Tournament moved smoothly. I think we had some rain delay, but other than that, the pace of play was great. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I played terribly, but again, that's neither here nor there. Scotty knows I do that all the time. So, Darren, you got a booth up here.
Yeah.
You guys get a lot of draw from the Minnesota Golf Show?
We do. A lot of guys anxious to just kind of get out of the cities and head south. As far south you have to go to get good golf, and the golf course is, it's amazing right now.
Yeah. Scotty, tell Darren about what happened to you at his golf course, if you can remember.
Yeah, so it was my first NCO.
You're gonna love this,
and we
Darren.
got snowed out.
We got snowed out.
We were supposed to play 36.
Yep,
and
perfect.
if I recall,
Check this out.
Darren and his staff they were kind of like, are you guys, wait, there's a frost delay. Why are you guys here at 7:30?
Yeah.
And we're sitting at there like, whatever, the bit. We're chomping to get out there. And Darren's like, hey, just let's wait till the frost gets done. So we play the first round.
18 holes.
And
With snowbanks. Darren was so good to us. We had snowbanks in areas, Scott. Remember
Yes.
the first hole I think I might have played with you? I lost the ball in the snowbank
Yes.
on the left.
Yes, but
Keep going.
everything else was great. So we play the first 18. We make the turn to play 18 in the afternoon, and it's about 35 degrees. There's a chance of snow, and Greg, who never says, let's stop, was convinced, hey, we're not going to play the second 18. But I said, hey, I haven't played golf in 6 months. I'm going to go walk 9 holes. So I walked the front 9 by myself. It was awesome. And
He walked your front 9, Darren.
Stocking cap, and it was phenomenal. It was one of my most enjoyable 9 holes. I get back to the condos or wherever we stayed, the townhouses.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, where would you go? And I'm like, I wouldn't play 9 holes. Why not?
How about that walk on number 5?
Yeah.
Up that hill. Does anybody walk your course?
Yeah, we have a couple members that they'll rotate carts and then walk, and then carts and then walk.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever walk it?
Yeah, in the spring. Just try to get into golf shape, try to get my legs underneath me, and not very often. Not very often.
All right, Darren, tell us about last year's golf season for you personally. You're one of the top players with McCarthy,
McCarty.
McCarty.
Gibb.
Yep.
I said his name wrong, right?
Yeah, it's McCarty.
McCarty,
Sean.
okay.
Yep.
Gibb,
Yep.
right?
Who else?
Some
Is
of
it
those
Prohl?
guys.
Yeah.
Prohl down there?
So, 4th or 5th time in my section career that I finished runner-up player of the year to Sean. I tease him all the time. I'm like, I got warning track power. I can't get over the hump. You're either going to need to move to the senior division.
Is he getting there before you?
Yeah, he's 1 year away.
Okay.
He still pounds it too.
Yeah, he hits it just way too far.
Yes.
Farther than you?
Oh my.
Yeah, he's really, really long.
I played with him one time in a tournament where we were kind of neck and neck. He was maybe 5 or 10 yards in front of me, and he 3-putted a par 5 for par, and I could tell he was running red hot. And I hit a really good drive out there, and he hits this snap hook into the tree on the left side of the fairway. It bounces up in the air, and I get down there, and he's 5 yards in front of me. So his ball went sort of backwards.
The snap hook farther than you.
Yeah, I mean, he hits it. I mean, he was the fastest recorded ball speed on the PGA Tour 2 years ago.
Wow.
At the PGA
So are you
Championship.
heading to Texas this year? Did you make it?
I finished second alternate. I'm currently like 28th or 9th on the list.
What are your chances with that? Is that pretty good or no?
It's getting closer every day.
Okay.
I've been to 9 of them, so I hate to miss them. I got to actually go down to Florida this year and play in the junior senior draw with Judd Gibb, and we led for 3.5 days, and then petered out at the
Which course were that at?
the Wanamaker and the Ryder and the Die and stuff. So
Have you played in that one, Scotty?
Senior, junior, yes.
You did,
I played
right,
in it
yeah.
a couple of times. It's
Good event, huh?
that's
Yes.
super fun. You know, and you get a partner like Judd. He still hits it as far as I do, plays as well as I do. So we ham and egged it perfectly, and just couldn't finish it off.
Have you ever played in those Pro Series events or those other ones before that in
No.
December?
I was going to try to go down this year. My wife and I started a new business in Albia. We've got a restaurant and indoor simulator place in Albia on the
Nice.
square. So it's called Golf 22. It's
I
rocking.
have seen you post that a lot. Okay,
It's
that's
rocking,
what that is.
It's rocking and rolling. My idea was going to be like golf course food. You know, come in something quick, play on the simulators, and my wife has just knocked it out of the park on the restaurant side to where we get more people to come in and eat now
Than to do the simulator.
The simulators are full, but we're also full on the restaurant side. So she's killing it. I'm hanging on for dear life. So
Oh, good for you
Yeah.
guys. So that's coincided with you. You're also a golf coach.
Yep, I coach the boys and girls team at Moravia, that little local team. Yep.
How's that squad doing?
It'll be a kind of a rebuild on the boys side.
Okay.
But the girls, I actually have 3 girls that'll be able to shoot in the mid 40s, so we should be really good there.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm
Well,
super
we're
excited.
kind of running out of time
Yeah,
here, Darren, so we got to
geez.
cut you off.
Thank you very much
But look
for-
at March.
Good to see you, Darren.
March
see you.
17th through the 21st. I want
Yeah.
to bring a group from Olivia because they've been talking. And then the following week we're going to the Ozarks. We're going to play
Oh,
Payne
nice.
Valley and the whole
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So Scotty is going to try to win his first NCO. Jack Warrow and Jesse Nelson have made sure that he hasn't won yet.
Correct.
You
And
as
so-
well, Greg.
I did nip you one time at where was that at? Oh, Dyke.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had to go to
yeah.
Dyke one time. They
Well,
were the only ones open.
We'll be open, so if you need an emergency 9 on the way down and the way back.
You know, the pandemic deal, you also almost helped us out when we were going to Texas, because our guys have always clamored for warmer weather. We went to California last year.
Yeah.
We got warmer weather, but we also, in COVID, don't go to California.
Right,
But we
right.
did. So we had some fun with it. But you've been, I think, the 7-time host of the NCO.
Yeah.
And guess what happened this year in our emails? Why aren't we going back to Honey Creek?
I love it.
Because you set us up so well with those condos. It's a perfect place for us to play cards, have dinners together, and there's not much for others to do, which is a good thing in our group. Because
Right.
sometimes when we've done somewhere where we stayed at a casino and guys are just off on their own thing, we have to be together and we can make fun of each other and have fun. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you, Darren, for hosting us down there for those events. Anybody here at the golf show, if you want a place to go in the next few weeks, this is your guy. Where you at? What booth?
425, just over here by the bigger vendors over here.
425. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Darren. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All
Thanks, Darren.
Appreciate it.
We'll see
bet.
you soon. Scotty, I think we kind of wrapped up the little Saudi Arabia stuff. You kind of gave your comments. Did you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to share to the people out here that is so pressing? I mean, you already did the ripstick. So we kind of got through all the necessary things, but
I think the last thing that I'd like to just ask you is
question. I like questions.
We're at the Genesis this week. Tiger's the host. He's saying that it's not progressing as fast as he wants. When are we going to see Tiger playing in an event? Is it going to be this year? How many events? When do you think? Do you think he'll be ready by the Masters?
Score North guys are really good to us to allow us to go a little overtime here because I love this topic and I want to hit this topic because Scotty and I have disagreed many times, and I keep knocking that down. Don't get too mad at me. Scotty and I have disagreed on the Tiger Woods thing for a little bit, and I'm going to reiterate my stance, and I think Scotty's going to finally come on board. The Tour does not need Tiger Woods right now. The Tour is lucky to have him, but it's in such good shape without him. So I don't care when he comes back. Take your time. It's okay, because guess what, Scotty? When he comes back, the hype will be even bigger again. You know, again, the longer you're out, the more that, hey, we can generate this stuff. He's not going to play at the Masters. No chance he plays at the U.S. Open because he can't walk those golf courses. We'll see him at some lesser event. Hey, maybe the 3M. Right?
He
no,
will not be at
I don't
the
know.
3M.
I don't know. But the point being is, Scott, is that golf's in great shape. Look at this field at the Genesis, the field last week. I mean, we'll see what happens at Honda, some of those. But the Masters is going to be hyped as always. I mean, we should do some early picks here. We usually do it with Kaylee and Tone, but we can't do it at this point. We'll do a show beforehand,
yes,
and we'll get some of those picks. But golf is in an awesome place, Scott. I don't know how I can say that any louder so that everybody here can hear it. Golf is doing great. The people are loving it. It's becoming more inclusive and less exclusive. Tiger Woods is to be thanked for that. But guess what? If he drifts off into the sunset, we're okay.
So you didn't answer my question.
I did. I don't care when he comes back. I did answer it. When do you want him back? Is that what you're kind of getting at?
I think everybody would love to see him at the Masters, but I think that's
he's not
be
playing
a
the
stretch.
Masters.
I think
he can't walk that course.
Here's where I think. Open Championship, St. Andrews.
I could get, yes, I would agree with that. Very good point.
And that's
flat
July,
golf course.
Yes.
Yep.
Pretty walkable. So.
And is he exempt, or does he have to? I mean,
yeah.
He's got to be, right?
He's exempt. I think those
the Masters win gets him for a long time here.
Yes. Well, and past champions in the
Yeah.
Open Championship are exempt. I mean, I think Lehman still plays in it because he's won that event. So, but yeah, that would be my pick.
All right, thanks to Kaylee. Thanks to Tone for all your work for us. Thanks to the Score North people. We had a great time here today. Scotty, thanks for showing up.
Hey.
Got the family down. You're going to go to the Gopher game tomorrow. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you all again sometime soon. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.